We are back.
Hi, I'm Bayfund, and I went over to 2022's Star Wars Celebration over in Anaheim. So this video is quite a bit overdue. I think by this time it's probably going to be about a week, but I mean, better late than never, right? Year 3 of going continuously. Mind that small break. And after this one, I think I can pretty much say bigger conventions usually do it best. But let's get down to business. Thursday, wake up at a reasonable time, heading over to the will call booth. Surprisingly, for the first time that I've seen it in these celebrations, the line's short. I didn't have the luxury of getting the 4-day pass, but I guess these individual ones are gonna make do. Then I make my way over to the main queue and wait there for, I don't know, 4 hours just to get front row seats for something that I wasn't expecting. Lights dim. And then, ain't that a beautiful sound? I didn't record a lot of this stuff because, well, you're not allowed to. But in the first 5 minutes, grown men were crying. And then, you spot him. Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. You know, the guy that's been confused for Jesus in like hundreds of Christian households. Easily one of the nicest things about that day. We hear about Willow. I've never seen it, so I mean, I can't say much. Looks like a pretty decent fantasy show though. Diego Luna and the creators of Andor show up. Finally, representation for the Latino community in Star Wars. Because that's what it looked like. The soundtrack sounds insane, just from hearing that little snippet in the beginning of the intro. So I'm hyped for that 24 episode count when it starts dropping. And the one thing that I would say that paid for like the entire ticket or so was most definitely seeing John Williams perform live. Yeah, no, I didn't think I was ever gonna get that chance. With the added bonus of a Harrison Ford cameo. I mean, really, if you've grown up watching Lucasfilm, you're not gonna get anything better than that. For the exception of maybe like Mark Hamill too, but I mean, what can you do? And there was not much to say in that Kenobi section because we were told to come back later that night to get the red carpet treatment. After that first panel on Thursday, there was nothing else that was probably gonna come close to what we saw, or so I thought. Before heading to the Kenobi screening, I went to the Mandalorian Experience. The Mandalorian Experience is probably one of the best little museums you can get for Star Wars. Official props and costumes that are just all around and everything just looks so nice. They even have a life-size Max Rebo, as you know, the heart and soul of the Star Wars universe. And he better not be dead. As a plus in that Mandalorian Experience too, came out with this little cute Grogu. Good little collectible for probably one of the best parts of Celebration this year. That red carpet screening of Obi-Wan was packed to the brim. Free popcorn and soda, maybe some annoying kids crying in front of me, but that really didn't take away from the show. I would say the first episode was okay, and the second episode was phenomenal. I mean, at the time of recording this, the third episode just dropped, and I mean, it was still good, but it was closer in line, like right in between episodes 1 and 2. Friday. Didn't do much actually. Went to the first panel again for the Light and Magic documentary. I can easily tell you that I'm gonna watch that documentary, but that panel was a little bit on the slow side. If you care more about the internal structure of Lucasfilm, then that might have been something that you would have liked a lot. My only thing is, I wish that the episode 2 panel was the main panel for that day, so I wouldn't have missed it. But, you know, things are as they are. Saturday, the Mandalorian Plus panel, where we finally get to see the best show that's gonna come out. My Three Dads. Seriously, that animatronic little baby Grogu that came out was just adorable. And I didn't talk about it in the Thursday stuff because, well, they just showed us a little trailer for it. But on this one, we got the full trailer. And I'm not ashamed to say that when Babu Frik came up in that trailer, I screamed. I was probably one of the loudest people in that auditorium. I don't know, something just like came over me in that situation. Seeing the best character in the sequel trilogy just pop up like that, I mean, Tamara Morrison coming out with his traditional dance on stage really just like surprised everyone, I think. He's probably one of the most energetic people on that stage. And we finally got to see a little something about Ahsoka. Chopper and Rosario Dawson got up on stage, as well as the actress that plays Sabine, Leo Berdizzo, just to give us a little sneak peek of what we're gonna be seeing. One little thing I can say is, is, well, the Rebels art style is actually canon in the Star Wars universe. You'll all see how that's done when you'll all see the trailer for yourselves. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi is another panel that we saw with Dave Filoni. That one's actually pretty good, and probably the animated show that I'm anticipating the most. It's the successor to Clone Wars, basically, in my opinion, even though it's going to include the story of young Dooku and Qui-Gon. Getting Liam Neeson's kid to voice young Qui-Gon is just like icing on the cake. And we actually got to see the first episode featuring Ahsoka. Dave Filoni said that the show was going to get a lot darker than what we saw, because, yeah, the first episode was pretty wholesome, and generally just, like, safe for everyone. And then to top it all off, Sunday. This time I was just taking my time mostly to walk the showroom floor and see as many cosplays as I could. Big takeaway is if you've been to one convention, you've probably seen how all showroom floors function and how they look. Nothing really new there. Heroes and Villains was probably the busiest clothing shop there. I mean, I got this hat, but that was a long line. And then we ended the day with the Siege of Mandalore viewing. 4 episodes watching on that big screen in that auditorium. If you've seen the Siege of Mandalore arc, then yeah, you know what all the hype's about. Panel-wise, I almost saw Dave Filoni like 6 times, so I almost got sick of seeing his face. I mean, that's a lie. Who can get sick of that man? He's probably the best thing about Star Wars now. Him and Jon Favreau. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't mention, like Jedi Survivor, but that's because I didn't go to those panels. But from stuff that I've heard, Bad Batch was pretty good. And I almost forgot. Here's some stuff about some cosplayers. I definitely did not record even like a significant portion of the amount of people that went. I was trying to enjoy the convention this time. Now, I would never say that I'm anywhere close to being a huge or one of the biggest Star Wars fans. I've always just seen myself as more like a casual viewer, but I mean, after going to 3 celebrations, I don't think that I could escape that label. Yeah, I usually wear long drapey cardigans. Yeah, I went to the restroom one time and then the janitor stopped me and he was like, man, all the cosplays you kids come up with are insane. And he's just like, yours looks cool. I didn't have the heart to tell him that it was just my normal clothes, so I just nodded and I walked out. Don't want to break their heart. Star Wars Celebration was pretty fun this year, so I'd say. And potentially, I'm gonna go next year. So if you guys go too, see y'all in London. And while the convention was good, I mean, I've got my own opinions about LA now that I've been for the first time. If you guys want something about that, I can make that too. And if you guys think that I'm just gloating this entire time about Star Wars Celebration, well, to be honest, yeah, I kind of am, but I mean, at least I recorded it.